Happy Independence Day from Pittsburgh's historic South Side, where tonight on ESPN Plus and Pittsburgh CW, we present to you USL Championship Soccer. Pittsburgh Riverhounds Soccer Club on a roll and hosting cross-state rival Bethlehem Steel FC. And the Hounds tonight go for a Highmark Stadium first. They've won the first two matches on this three-match homestand. They'll try to pull off a clean sweep. They've outscored their last three opponents 12-1. They've beaten their last three opponents, and they're unbeaten in their last four. And if they can get to 4 wins in a row, that'd be the first time they've done that in 6 years. These two teams, though, when they usually get together, it's pretty darn close. Last year in the playoffs, it took extra time in a penalty kick shootout. And back in March, Paul Child, it was 2-2. Kevin Kerr scoring early, but the Hounds couldn't keep down some of that young firepower for Bethlehem Steel. You see Ferris and Galena chipping in to counter Greenspan's header.
Yeah, really. I mean, this is kind of a local derby, Matt, and it's kind of every time these two teams get together, it's a real tough game, and it's hopefully we're going to see some more goals because the Hounds are very hard at the moment, and I'm sure Bethlehem want to keep their roll going as well, winning the last two 1 games. You know,
Bethlehem was adrift for a while. The Hounds were too. But they have certainly turned this thing around. As you mentioned, they're scoring a ton of goals. The last time they scored 12 goals in a 3-match span was 2004. And there you see the results. So many draws in that April and May stretch, but since then they've turned those results around. As I mentioned, they've won 2 in a row here at home. And the local hero, Robbie Mertz, is chipping in a big way. He had 2 goals last Saturday against Birmingham. And Steven Dos Santos and Nico Brett at the top of the formation. They're scorching too.
No, that's what's really nice to see. Dos Santos and Brett are just doing combinations and scoring some great goals together.
There's some young talent on this Bethlehem Steel side, the primary development affiliate of the Philadelphia Union of MLS. And we mentioned Ferris. He has 5 goals in 13 matches, just 19 years old, out of the nation of Cameroon. And you could argue for Brendan Burke's club, they've let some points get away as well. Despite some quality wins, they've left some points on the table here. So as we get toward the midpoint of the season, they're trying to turn it up.
No, I think they are, and they still have a lot of young players even playing tonight, I think, and you're going to see some young talent coming along, and obviously this Ferris is doing really well.
Well, more to come, fireworks included. Stay with us on ESPN Plus.
Okay, go ahead and stand up for me. Good. Okay.
Oh my gosh, this is just...
Now, if you get home and that's a little more tender.
Can I give you a hug? I can't believe it. I was in surgery this morning. Oh my gosh.
Call 412 Doctors to schedule an appointment at Allegheny Health Network.
You don't want to miss the action at Highmark Stadium Saturday, July 13th, when the Tampa Bay Rowdies come to town for a 7 p.m. match. It's our Hall of Fame induction with a special Legends game at noon. See some of your favorite Riverhounds players from years gone by. Gates open at 5:30, dollar beers until kickoff. The first 1,000 fans will receive a free rally towel courtesy of Image 360. Find out more at riverhounds.com or call 412-865-GOAL.
I should have been a cowboy. Toby Keith and his That's Country Bro Tour 2019. Red Solo Cup. Friday, September 27th, 7:30 at Highmark Stadium. With special guests Clay Walker won't be long. And Gabby Barrett. Toby Keith. Whiskey for my man. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Produced by Krusty Entertainment. Toby Keith and his That's Country Bro Tour.
Explore a world of music on WQED.
Explore sweater sessions on WQED.
Explore educational opportunities.
Explore science.
Explore early childhood learning.
Explore Nebby on WQED.
Explore the power of the arts.
Explore Pittsburgh Eats.
Explore diversity on WQED.
Two of the nastiest words in sports, weather delay. We're experiencing that right now at Highmark Stadium. I'm Matt Geica. Paul Child, the Hall of Famer, is alongside. Paul, it's more of a lightning delay. We saw some lightning out to our east, here from our perch on the south side here in Pittsburgh. So we have to wait at least about another 20 minutes or so and reevaluate the situation. No rain is falling. It seems like the storm cells are clear of us. So we don't anticipate any severe weather necessarily, but because of the lightning, we do have to take that precaution.
Yeah, the referees are in charge of that, and I think it's give it 20 minutes after they see the last lightning, and then you're able to play. So that went about 5 minutes ago or so. So I'm guessing that we're going to get back to the game soon.
We were scheduled to kick off right about now, 7:05. The last lightning bolt that I saw was about 6:50, 6:55, somewhere in that range. So that's unofficial coming from our end, but what we do know is that you can just stay tuned here on ESPN Plus and Pittsburgh CW for further updates. And when we do have another update of substance or otherwise, then we shall return. So hang in there with us. We are anticipating getting this match started not after the fall of night. So I'll put it that way. Talk to you soon. Welcome back to Pittsburgh. We're just in time for kickoff. The rain has stopped, the lightning has cleared the area, and we're ready for USL Championship Soccer. I am Matt Geika. Paul Childs alongside as the Pittsburgh Riverhounds Soccer Club goes for its 4th consecutive victory and its 3rd on home turf. We'll go to our starting lineups for tonight in this derby matchup with the cross-state Bethlehem Steel, starting with Bob Lilly's Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Kyle Morton gets another start. He's been manning the spot between the sticks for the past 5 now. Some squad rotation though, Paul, because the Hounds play Sunday in Charlotte. You see Danny Rivera, you see Sammy Kasai and Christian Valesky drawing it.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a different lineup, but I think it's a good idea from Bob. He's got another game coming up on Saturday and obviously resting a couple of players. And it's good to get everybody in there as well, Matt, to give them a taste and have them ready for the season.
Usual starters sitting tonight for Pittsburgh: Ryan James, Robbie Mertz, and Nico Brett, the leading goal scorer with 5. For Brendan Burke, the only coach in the history of Bethlehem Steel FC, you see in goal the 18-year-old from El Salvador, Tomas Romero. He's unbeaten in 4 starts. At the top of the formation, though, you have to watch out for the man wearing number 35, the 19-year-old Ferris from Cameroon, 5 goals on the year. And in that midfield, some playmakers in Zandy and Willis, and we talked about Chambers, the 32-year-old captain.
Yeah, they've got some young players out there, but they're very talented, and I think they're going to be a handful for the Riverhounds tonight. And as you said earlier, it's a local derby, so this game's going to be really close, I'm thinking, Matt, and tight.
Well, there you see the Steel Army setting off the pregame smoke. You know the Army is hardy enough to hang in here. And it was going to be an overflow crowd here at Highmark Stadium. We'll see how many folks stood it out and stayed through the 45/50-minute rain delay. We'll call it 45 minutes since we were scheduled to kick it off at 7:05. Instead, it's 7:50, and the sun from down to our west is starting to filter through the clouds, some low clouds. We had quite the downpour here about 20 minutes ago, but as I said, just in time for kick. We're ready to go. The Hounds will be in white, and Bethlehem Steel, the team that knocked the Hounds out of the USL Cup playoffs last year, will be in the dark blue.
Yeah, the crowd's coming in, Matt. It's filling up really good now. I don't know where all these people went to, but they obviously got under shelter and went back to vehicles and then come back out. But big crowd tonight. It really is. It's really filling up right now.
Well, it's become a tradition here in Pittsburgh. Soccer on the 4th of July. Here we go as Christian Valesky boots it back to Canardo Forbes, and the hometown Hounds start off in possession the 7th consecutive year they've played soccer on Independence Day. It's Kasai serving it over to the far wing, and the defender Toby Adewale. Danny Rivera, former Vermont standout, gives it right back to Adewale, who cracks it up the near touch line. That's headed down by Walter Cortez into the midfield. Good job from Kasai to help pry the ball loose. Now Jordan Dover makes the play up. Dover returning from 3 matches with Guyana in the Gold Cup. Steven Dos Santos takes this ball at his foot, crossing it on the ground, looking for Valesky, but a little behind.
Yeah, Valesky wasn't looking at that time, Matt, and it was a good ball by Dos Santos. I think if Valesky was aware of what was going on, he could have stepped in front of that player and maybe he had a chance on goal.
Yeah, it's a good point. A lot of times the receiver can make the pass look better.
Yes, for sure.
And make it look outstanding. Well, there's Thomas Vankiazil playing with the hair pulled back in a bun. I didn't even recognize him. I was thinking, who is this young man?
Yeah.
Wearing number 17, defender/midfielder. He's over on our near side now as Joe Greenspan plays with it right in front of his 18-yard box.
Oh, that's a great ball again, and Dos Santos getting free again on that wide left side. Nice little touch inside.
Forbes gives off Kerr. One little touch, Valesky upended. Play continues on. Kasai now square here. Vankiazil, he'll let it go to Dover. Dover, I mentioned, right back into the lineup after missing a couple of matches due to the Gold Cup. Playing for Guyana, his international debut. Jordan Dover, the right back for the Hounds. Now Vankiazil couldn't get it through the pressure of Ferris, the forward, putting in a defensive shift there.
Yeah, real tight at the moment, and as it always starts this way, and everybody's starting to get used to this field as well, Matt. These balls are slick, shooting off the turf, so you've got to be ready to get it under control really quickly.
Sammy Kasai, edge of the attacking third, skips right through Forbes, the captain, onto Danny Rivera, a Colombian native, to the Jamaican Forbes, who wears the captain's armband once again for Pittsburgh, his 2nd year with the Hounds. He's played under Bob Lilly before with the Rochester Rhinos. Toby Adewale on it now. Kerr, who last week had 2 assists both to the hometown boy, Robbie Mertz, giving him the all-time lead in Riverhounds franchise history. Kerr now has 26 league assists. Here's Kyle Morton distributing to Vanki Azil. Little skip off that wet pitch that Paul referred to.
Well, pushing
Dos
the back
Santos
there, yeah.
dumped. Matt Real did that.
I took it quickly. I'm a little bit surprised. They could have pushed some players up there and made something out of that into the box, but took a real short one and played it back.
So what's at stake tonight? The Hounds looking for their 4th consecutive win. Like I said in the intro, if they can pull it off, it'd be the first time since 2013. They're at 5-2-7, 9th place out of the 18 teams in the Eastern Conference. Bethlehem 3 points behind, though.
Oh, got a nice bounce there. Kerr from the defender dropped right to his feet as he
Kerr
turned
playing
around.
Kasai square, sliding through to disrupt. That was Willis, but Kasai right back on it. And Rovira, Danny Rovira, a couple of starts here in USL play, sends it into Valesky and headed beyond the byline. Corner kick for the Hounds. The first for either side in this match. 3.5 minutes in. You take a look at Brendan Burke. He's guided this Bethlehem Steel side to a record of 38, 48, and 30. His 4th season here. Previous to that, he coached the Philadelphia Union Reserves. So he's been a part of the Union organization for a decade, basically.
I'm looking for Greenspan here, Matt, getting on the end of this one. And
bending it in for, well, Joe scored against Bethlehem back in March, but this ball didn't get through to him. It was headed off at the pass. Kasai back to Dover, second ball in. Bouncing away from Zach Zandy under the pressure of Steven Dos Santos. Zandy does get rid of it.
Yeah, they were a little bit slow getting out there. They should have got out a little bit quicker, got onside, because nobody could touch the ball because there was 3 players offside. So they left it and let their defender try and cope with it. And he did okay, but handball from Kerr there.
Pretty obvious call.
Ball shot off the ground, though, you know, off this turf, and he couldn't do much else but try and get his shoulder onto it.
Well, this is the second match that has seen the turf get a drenching. It lasted the entire match against St. Louis back in April. This one a little different, really heavy rain, but it stopped for the kick. So we'll see how it behaves here. Yeah. Issa Ryan, one of 2 forwards for Bethlehem in this 4-4-2 formation. Gave it right back to the back line, and Matt Real, who has some experience with the Philadelphia Union. Valesky rushing up the back of Shivani Willis. Up on the far wing goes Cole Turner. Turner, the 17-year-old from Maryland. 7 teenagers out of the 11 starting for Bethlehem tonight.
Yeah, we said that. They've got a lot of young players out there, and hopefully, I'm sure the coach is hoping they're going to really have some good work rate and win some balls and create some chances. But at the moment, it seems like the Hounds are keeping most of the possession, trying to get the as many touches as they can, and then a long ball forward for DeSantos. And
that'll be flagged down by Mark McKenzie, who has 1 start in MLS this year. He played 19 matches for the Union last season, but just 1 this year. And this is just his 3rd start for Bethlehem. She's been out of action for a while, but he gets a look here on the 4th of July. The Steel coming off a 3-0 win at Hartford. The Hounds coming off a 4-1 demolition of Birmingham last Saturday here at Highmark. Dover and then Kerr and then Valesky. Little head tennis, to use your term, Paul.
Yeah, it was definitely. They're knocking some great balls. Nice little touch there to Kerr.
Kerr is offside, unfortunately, for the Hounds and their partisans.
Good job, Matt. I didn't see that.
For once, I had to jump on you.
I was hidden behind this post here, but yeah, I couldn't. I thought he was in a good situation.
There's Bob Lilly in his 2nd season, managing the Hounds, 19th as a pro coach, the 52-year-old from New Jersey, assisted by Dan Visser and former Houndskeeper Hunter Gilstrap. A reminder that Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues around the world. Since 1947, Select has been a leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest products and special offers, visit SelectSportAmerica.com.
Notice, Matt, we're not going as high pressure as we did in the last game when we started from the kickoff, and even against the Red Bulls the game before that one. We were going real high pressure and really penning the opposing team in their end of the field. Right now, we're kind of easing off, maybe because it's the change of the players that we have, 3 different players, and just like absorbing at the moment, seeing what's happening.
That's a good point. Typically here at home, especially, it's a narrower pitch, so the Hounds do like to swarm and force some, well, perhaps some rush decisions coming out of the back.
Yeah.
Turner to the near wing, and the captain Chambers, the Irishman, guides it right through. Nearly connected with a couple of teammates there. It skipped past Ferris and Zandy. James Chambers, the enemy last October here at Highmark, the first playoff game in this facility's history, ended with Bethlehem on top. 8-7 in the PK shootout after a 2-2 tie through 120 minutes. Chambers scored to tie it on a brilliant free kick to set up the shootout, which didn't see much success for the goalkeepers. Dover gives a thumbs up, but that ball is a little too far by Kasai. Sammy Kasai, just his 4th appearance for the Hounds here in the midfield, wearing number 6.
Yeah, Sammy's kind of like getting into the game right now. He started off a little bit rushed and hesitant and giving quick passes when he needed. And I think he's just calming down right now. Be good to see how he goes as game goes on.
Well, you saw the graphic, the 4th of July tradition at Highmark Stadium. For the Hounds, they've lost twice, both to Charlotte, so good news for them. They're not playing Charlotte tonight. Dos Santos trucked over, and play continues with Ferris jaunting forward. His lead ball for Rayon was picked off, though, by Bunky Azul. Ferris, an impressive athlete to watch. Now he touches it back, and connecting through is Turner. Turner to the near wing, Rayon. Rayon working against Bunky Azul. Peels outside, cross to the back post. Nobody home for Bethlehem. It'll be picked up by Rivera on the trot.
Yeah, Bethlehem had some good combinations there and then kind of fizzled out towards the end as the Riverhounds all started getting back behind the ball, but did a really good job of going at them and catching them a few men down at the back. Oh, that's a nice little touch.
Deflection from Valesky finds Kasai. Tried the first time ball all the way across to Dos Santos, who eventually finds a way to get a boot to it and win possession on the throw. Nathan Harriel, the wingback on the far side, could not control it against the rangy Dos Santos. 3 goals and 2 assists in his past 3 matches for Dos Santos. This is what the Hounds were looking for when they signed him in the offseason. Into Valesky, maybe. No, it's headed off. Valesky scored the last goal for the Hounds last weekend, so they're hoping that he can team with Dos Santos. Those were the 2 attackers signed in the offseason by Pittsburgh. They were looking to maybe be a tandem, and now they get the chance here.
Yeah, they've been Dos Santos has been really combining well with Nico Brett, and he's not there today, so obviously they've been probably working all week in practice, working on different techniques and ways to get the ball and work with each other.
Chambers looking dangerous, but Dover tracks back and belts it out. Brendan Burke up off his seat on the Bethlehem sideline. He's clapping. He's happy with that little combination. It'll be a throw for the Steel FC, who are going to play a lot of matches on the road here down the stretch. 10 of their last 15 are on the road. Dos Santos flicking it over his shoulder, and a good ball there to Rovira running on.
Yeah, did really well. Didn't obviously had peripheral vision and knew he was there because he wasn't looking that way, and did a real good job getting it out there.
I don't want to jinx it, but it's turned into a lovely evening here in Pittsburgh. If you could wait out the rain, and just a touch of lightning enough to delay us. Forbes, Kerr, back to Canardo.
I think it's getting pretty humid too, Matt, out there as well.
It's radiating off the turf.
Yeah, it really
as
is.
It evaporates here. It's a hot day. It's been a hot week in Pittsburgh. Hazy, hot, and humid. The 3 H's, as you hear often on the newscast. Chambers could not get through. Bunky Azul.
Yeah, it closed down really well there, Bunky Azul, and really made it difficult for Bethlehem to create anything with that. Nice through ball.
Valesky's onside. The ball's going to stop up short of the byline. Christian Valesky against McKenzie. Valesky decides to pull it out as Bethlehem got numbers back. Kasai seeing a lot of the ball here in the midfield. Slides it on through. Rovira, another cross coming, this time on the ground, but McKenzie intercepted that with no trouble. The ball was misstruck from Rovira.
Yeah, really. I think they were looking for a high cross into the box there and didn't get it at all.
Chambers to Matt Real. Some of these Bethlehem players are repeats from last year. Some have moved on, whether it be to the Union or other clubs. We saw a lot of Ferris, we saw a lot of Real and Chambers last year. For the most part, it's a relatively new cast of characters, at least in the starting 11 tonight. Kasai got a boot on the attempted through ball from Willis, who's one of those newbies for us. Willis, 3 goals and an assist out of the nation of Jamaica. Jamaica well represented, as it usually is when the Hounds play.
Yeah, Bethlehem just not in any rush at all. Like want to just keep possession for a while, looking for some openings and through balls. They're making some good combinations, 1-2s. And here you see a couple.
Bethlehem does appear to be on the front foot early.
Yep.
They remind me of Red Bulls too, and a lot of play on the ground, like you said, combinations, short passes, tight spaces. Rivera slides through and knocks down Issa Ryan, the 18-year-old.
Yeah, they don't look for any high balls into the box for a target player. They definitely want to bring the ball into the top of the D, make 1, 2, 3 passes and get a shot off. They're trying to. Hounds have done well though, cutting that out, the final third with the shot.
Pittsburgh looking to continue this push. Here's a push upfield though by Rayan, but he's overwhelmed by Adewale. Good physical challenge there to get body position first of all and then win the ball. Toby goes up. As you can see, he doesn't lack for aggression, and he keeps the ball out of the Hounds defending third for now.
Yeah, Toby kind of made his mind up, and I'm going to get that, whatever it takes, and pushed his own player out the way.
Great effort here from Walter Cortez to keep this ball in play. The Costa Rican sends down the near touchline. Ferris chests it down. He's manned up by Joe Greenspan, the former Navy man. Greenspan pulls it away.
And Ferris went down real quick there and just stopped playing, and Greenspan really did well there, just taking it away from him.
Joe Greenspan was the subject of a nice feature in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette this week on his Navy background, as I mentioned. Of course, it does come more into the forefront on holidays like this one. Joe scored against Bethlehem off of a set piece back on March 30th. It was a 2-2 draw. That scoreline sounds familiar. The Hounds have had 5 2-2 draws this season out of their 7 ties. Incredible. Zandy upset that he could not put enough touch on that ball. He had runners going into the box, but the execution eluded him.
You're seeing it again there, Matt. They're looking for knocking it into the top of the D, laying it back and knocking a through ball through for anybody that's going to be ready to run onto it. And we're trying to do it right there, but just didn't get the right touch.
No shots yet. The goalkeepers have been bit players. Kyle Morton, the native of the Philadelphia suburb of Westchester, cracks it up into the midfield, and on the second ball is Jordan Dover. Dover looking for Dos Santos, and again, a little too much on that ball. The Hounds just not making that final connection in the opening 15 minutes. And it'll be on Tomas Romero to put the ball back into play with a goal kick.
That was a good idea there. I think that's what we've got to do more of, knocking some long balls in there. We've got 2 big guys up front, and they can win some balls in the air, but we've got to have some good service.
Kasai, not a handball. Head referee Malik Baldawi says that was close enough to the shoulder to let it go, so Pittsburgh maintains possession. Baldawi assisted by Ben Pilgrim and Caleb Perry on the sidelines. Kervin Moon is the 4th official. Those are the men in red tonight. The contrast hits. Greenspan, some confusion there at the back.
Yeah, 3 players going for the same ball. Nobody really all leaving it for each other.
Chambers will chest down this aerial and flick it in the direction of Ferris. But again, the Hounds get 2 men to him. Greenspan, Tommy V, Thomas Vanki Azil converge. And Real will take again for Bethlehem. Pittsburgh can't make anything happen on the counter. Well, Brendan Burke said coming into this match he was looking forward to the atmosphere. He said he wishes there were more atmospheres like this in USL Championship, and typically it is a nice crowd here for the 4th, and it looks like most folks have stuck around, so good for them. Some hardy sports fans here in Pittsburgh.
Now we've got a real good crowd here, and I'm sure the Hounds want to put out for the fans as well, and hopefully get on the scoreboard as quick as they can.
They haven't lost at home. 3-0-4 in USL play this year. 5-0-4 if you count US Open Cup. They've lost just twice in USL play under Bob Lilly at home. So it's extremely difficult to get on top of the Hounds here.
Hounds playing with 5 in the back, and they're really staying there too. There's no players really pushing up, leaving it up to the 2 forwards up front. And Dos Santos should be able to catch this ball if he can get there before the other player.
Real drew the foul from Dos Santos.
Yeah, really. Off. He should be, because this referee never called it on him when he shoulder got pushed in the back over there. And he's letting him know too.
Real, the 19-year-old Philadelphian, looks up as referee Baldawi has a talk with Dos Santos, who's normally very engaged, shall we say, with the referees, one way or the other.
I think he was a little bit late there, caught him in the back of the shoulder instead of his shoulder to shoulder, so that's why the referee gave it. But as I said earlier on, he just got the same thing happen to him, and that's what he was discussing with the referee, I think.
Ferris to Cortez, stepping up from his wingback spot. Turner, the holding midfielder, Cole Turner. Meandering and then giving it up to McKenzie. And again, the Hounds retracted. Almost everybody on the field is back behind the midfield stripe where they were for a moment. As you said, Paul, a very counter-attacking approach, it appears so
Yeah,
far.
really, it's really packing it in at the back. Got 5 defenders right there with 4 of their players, or 3 forwards.
And the Hounds starting 11 was listed as a 5-3-2. So true to form at the start here. With Funky Azil, he's listed as a midfielder, but he's been playing essentially as a defender this season. With the Hounds missing some defenders due to injuries. Dover gets this one down. Good ball into Valesky. Heavy touch. Christian Valesky's not going to get a better ball than that. Right at the top of the D.
Yeah, he's got to want that one back, I think, Matt, because that's a great opportunity there. If he just does the right touch there, drops to his feet, gets a quick shot off, and maybe a chance of the goal right away.
Giveaway, apparently, but no. Whistled back. Foul called against the Hounds. Not a lot of fouls in this one so far. I just have a couple, in fact.
Yeah.
One for either side. Bethlehem Steel has a lot of yellow cards. They have 4 red cards, tied for the most in the USL Championship, but it is a big roster, a large cast of characters, so it's really tough to make generalizations about the team overall when you look back at the season. Kerr picks this ball down and feeds it down the left side, but it'll be Romero catching up to it before Valesky. Romero well off his line, and for the first time he's called to sprint out, gets a burst of adrenaline.
I'd put him under pressure real quickly here, which Kerr is doing, and trying to keep him looking for a mistake.
Boy. McKenzie nearly handed it right on a platter to Christian Valesky, with Kerr running some interference.
Yeah, Valesky's got to get sharpened up here and expect these kind of things, to get a good touch on those kind of mistakes. He just won right before that previously. Good touch on the ball would have been a shot on goal. That one he could have really been, if he was sharp and ready, could have taken the pace off it and maybe controlled it and got a shot off.
This is just Valesky's 5th start of the year, his 13th appearance, so he's been mostly a reserve. This time called into duty with the Hounds facing a 2-match week. Sunday at Charlotte. It's not a short trip either. Not a direct flight, as I found out from talking to some of the Hounds earlier this week at training. Short week of training, of course, as well, with 4th of July falling on a Thursday this year. Greenspan scans his options, has a man open, and it's Dover. Jordan Dover. Forbes, Greenspan, and some open space for Kerr, the 7th-year Hound. He's played in every 4th of July match here at Highmark Stadium.
I think we're also seeing Kerr right now. He's getting on the ball a lot more, because I think he's missing the Mertz and James, who do a lot of work and chasing the balls down and getting it to him. Here's a great opportunity.
Dover, will he have a crack? No, he'll try to feed to Valesky. Right back to Dover. Boxed in by Bethlehem, given off to Forbes, and that did not pan out as the Hounds intended.
I don't think Dover wanted that ball back. He gave it to Valesky, and he wanted him to get a quick touch and turn, and he probably yelled at him, turn, and he didn't do so. He knocked it back to him, caught him, got it underneath his feet.
So we're seeing, as you might expect, with some different players in the lineup, we're seeing some misconnections. Valesky gets a second crack, though. Rivera wins the corner kick.
Yeah, that could have been a good opportunity there if that player had just got it around the defender.
So now Bethlehem starting to get sloppy. The Hounds are able to trigger the counter from their attacking side of the field, which you obviously prefer. Brendan Burke seeing his team start well, and now the Hounds get some pushback as we tick past 21 minutes gone in this match. Second and final matchup of the season between Pennsylvania rivals. Ball to the back post. Adewale nods it down. McKenzie, one touch and a second, looking for Turner to help out, but Joe Greenspan's all the way in the attacking corner.
Yeah, he's doing really well, shielding the ball there, getting
Big
a great
Joe
cross.
Turns and crosses. That was out of character.
Yeah.
It will be flagged down.
Looking for a ball
Kerr
back
right
in.
back in. Oh! The top of Adewale and wide of the post.
Adewale there, he's got to get on the end of that one. I thought he was for sure going to just knock that down into the near post he was running towards.
Adewale had a goal off a similar type of a play at Swope Park earlier this year. Couldn't make it happen here, just mistimed.
That ball was traveling, but you could see he was all alone and nothing else to do but just get a...
He did get a piece, as it turns out.
I'm
I
shocked.
couldn't tell on the naked eye first look, but on second glance, yeah, on the replay, you can see he just mishit it. He was there. Kerr probably should have had his 27th league assist. Oh, the Hounds converge on James Chambers, who's down grabbing his right knee. Kasai and Bankiazil turn away in disgust. The foul given.
I think somebody came down on his ankle actually there. I don't think it was deliberate, but...
How does he come on in there without a yellow?
Chambers was the oldest player on this team, as we said.
Oldest player on the field, in fact, at 32. Because of what type of a crew the Bethlehem Steel bring in here. Bethlehem was winless in 8 from the end of April to middle of June. They've won 2 of 3 now, including a defeat of St. Louis, which got them back closer to the playoff zone, which is the top 10 this year in the USL. A takeaway by Pittsburgh. Forbes put it right past Kevin Kerr, who turned to his right, but the ball was to his left initially.
I don't know what he's complaining about. It was a bad pass, you know. It went between both players. We're going in different directions, and he didn't quite figure it out where he needed to get it.
The toss in on the far touchline will be handled by Harriel, but Pittsburgh
keeps it in.
With Kasai keeping it alive, bouncing it through. Can Valesky make amends, but he cannot there. Kerr slides in to keep it in the 18, and then Kerr slides right through the man who cleared it out, Matt Real, and that's the foul.
Valesky there, another opportunity. That's probably 3 chances he's had where he's got to be much quicker on the ball, get it down on the ground and get a shot off as quick as he can. It's a little bit slow there.
So some trouble for Valesky in keeping the ball under control. He's a veteran in this league. He has plenty of credentials too.
He just
his resume, and then Chambers
ran over Dover.
Yeah, he sent Dover down hard, and Jordan Dover is slow to rise.
Yeah, he just backpedaled and ran right over him backwards. And
fans, you can follow the Hounds, Bethlehem Steel, and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who've already discovered ESPN+, and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. We're broadcasting on ESPN Plus as always, in addition to Pittsburgh CW, our one and only home regular season match on television here in Pittsburgh. Hopefully we can get a home postseason match again for the 2nd consecutive year. Real takes this distribution from Romero, his keeper.
Hans picking it up a lot more now, Matt, as you can see. They're really high pressure, a little bit more high pressure, and keeping Bethlehem in their own end at the moment.
Chambers, can he keep this one alive against the odds? No. The pass was at his heel, and he had to try to flick it up over his head.
Did he hit his heel, or did he hit the linesman, I thought? The back.
I thought he got a piece, but could be mistaken. Over by the Monongahela River. Down on the Mon. Hounds playing their 7th season of soccer at this facility. Cortez calling for the ball, but Real is going to slow it down. You can see Matt Real typically has a lot of possession for Bethlehem as they work it from the back. Harriel was down, and he's still bent over at midfield on the far side of the pitch. Meanwhile, play continues on here. Rayon.
Oh, the referee standing right there.
And I guess no call is coming from that. I thought that was an easy foul call, but not to be. Pittsburgh gets the benefit of the doubt on that one.
Referee just standing 3 yards away, so he must have realized that player dove and it wasn't touched, so let it play on.
Must be, again, the head referee, Malik Baldawi. Hounds haven't seen him this year. Ref a match of theirs. Pittsburgh has outscored its last 3 opponents 12-1. Nothing on the board yet, but it took a while against Red Bulls too a couple of weeks ago. Brett connected before the half on a long-range chip. That's Nico Brett, the leading goal scorer who starts today's match on the bench. Pittsburgh playing a split squad, if you will, with 2 matches in 4 days. Adewale gets around this ball, but can't keep it in. Yeah. It's off the advertising boards and a Bethlehem throw. Harriel to McKenzie, the MLS veteran. Not a lot of shots so far. Both teams struggling to generate in the attacking third. Pittsburgh's had some possession time in the attacking third lately. Nothing really to show for it outside of the missed header from Adewale.
Yeah, had a couple of corners, I think, and that was about it. But
Zandy.
That's not a good ball.
Zach Zandy. That might have been deflected. No, it'll be a goal kick, pardon me. Zandy just took a wild swing on the volley with the left toe.
It's time for the Doubletree by Hilton Lucky Roll Cookie Giveaway. Doubletree by Hilton Pittsburgh.
A reminder, the Hounds are back at Highmark Stadium, not this Saturday, but next Saturday for Hall of Fame night. The inaugural class of the Hall of Fame gets inducted as Pittsburgh takes on the contending Tampa Bay Rowdies. That's July the 13th, 7 o'clock. We'd love to see you down here at Highmark Stadium. It's quite the stretch for Pittsburgh. This finishes a 3-match homestand, then a couple more coming up before the end of July.
Yeah, really, we've got a good stretch here. And it should be a great night too, with the 20-year reunion of a lot of alumni coming in, and coaches, players, and the Hall of Fame.
Heard there was an alumni game. And you weren't contacted about it.
I know, it's okay. I can pass if we don't need to. But,
sliding play from Kerr to break up that through ball. Kasai looks to be handling himself very well. Sammy Kasai, not the biggest individual, but he uses his body well. Savvy player. You can see why the Hounds added him this season out of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, UMBC for short. Valesky to Dover. Pittsburgh trying to turn up the tempo, and Forbes will switch play to Danny Rovira. On the bright side, a lot of these players in, Kasai, Rovira, among them, got some action in U.S. Open Cup, so they haven't been as inactive as their stat line might indicate. Dover will chest this ball down from Kerr. Working there in tight quarters and dispossessed by Walter Cortez. Cortez then got by Dover again.
Yeah, he was unlucky there. He did really well to recover and win that ball, and then he kept sliding on the turf. Nice nutmeg
Ferris,
there.
But the ball got too far in front of him, and Adewale belted it out into touch. Corner kick, Bethlehem, its first of the match.
Yeah, Greenspan got burnt there a little bit. He came closing down and got his legs wide open, and he's a big guy. He pushed it right through and showed some real speed there, Ferris.
Ferris has already scored against the Hounds this season. Pittsburgh not upset to not see Michi Galina in the lineup. He scored against them in the playoffs, and then also back in March, an attempt for the top right corner by Real with the left foot, but he hooked it a little too much. Morton took a step and then realized he was going to let that one ride out. Kyle Morton, the 25-year-old Pennsylvanian, in the sticks for the Hounds. 12 saves in his past 3 matches. So he hasn't been inactive here. These have been earned wins, and he has 3 clean sheets on the season now in 7 appearances.
And now Valesky needs some help up there. He's got nobody there with him. He can't lay it off to anybody.
I'm curious to see how he and Dos Santos work it out. It looks like Valesky is a little bit further up.
And that's how we've seen him with Nico Brett. Nico Brett, the smaller of the two, and he's been the one pushing forward, and DeSantis sending balls through for him, and vice versa, actually, but not looking for as a target player. Oh, that's
Kerr,
a great
what
flick.
A beauty of a flick-on header, and it's Christian Valesky. Valesky slices that one off target.
It was the right idea there. He had no help, and it would have been good if he could have kept that down and hit the turf, maybe in front of the keeper, instead of going over the top.
Well, Kevin Kerr looks engaged tonight. That's twice he's set up chances. Second on the squad in chances created, in fact, with 15. Of course, Nardo Forbes has 32. It's top 10 in the East. So Forbes has been the chief playmaker, but now Kerr, a couple of assists last week, and well, he's feeling it. He's seeing the field well. as he usually does.
Goalkeeper's trying to wants to take a short kick and nobody wants it from him, and went for a long one, and now Riverhounds with the free kick again.
Rayon whistled for infringing on Thomas Vankiaziel's territory. Gateway Clipper cruises on by. Busy day in Pittsburgh, the downtown area. The Pirates played the Cubs at 4 across the point at PNC Park. We have fireworks coming up at 9:35-ish. We might be seeing those during the match with that weather delay. Late stages first half now.
Here's a great opportunity.
Counter-attack for Vankiaziel leads the way.
I'd like to see Dover cut in there.
Dover, Valesky, he has 3 men around him. Christian Valesky does well to create some space.
Yeah.
Vankiaziel and Forbes. Forbes takes a look, puts it into the mix. Romero, one-handed punch, comes loose to Valesky, but he couldn't control it. Now back to Kasai, and he stuffed the shot.
Yeah, and another opportunity there. We're creating some chances here. We've got to get on the board if we can. Kerr did a great job of flicking that ball on, and there's a good cross.
Kerr,
nobody that far out, though. Oh.
Too much, but Kasai will get all the way to the corner to bottle it up. Rovira and Forbes. So Pittsburgh's been the beneficiary of a couple of bounces. Have not been able to convert. They're now the top shooting percentage team in all of USL, 23%.
That's a great ball.
Dover Valesky! Oh, he missed that one too. And that was very similar to the one he converted last week when Velarde crossed it in the final minutes.
Yeah, he did, and just didn't get up quite high enough to get over the top of the ball there.
Well, you've got to love the ball in, regardless.
Oh yeah,
you've got to finish.
And he's got to be expecting this too.
Jordan Dover making an impact in his return to the Hounds.
Goalkeeper again looking for that short pass, and nobody wants it.
Pittsburgh's pressing up now with 3 men. Showing. Greenspan nods it down. Another clear for Big Joe. Swatted through by Dos Santos. It bounces past Valesky. 35th minute in Pittsburgh. Matt Geica with Paul Child on the call on ESPN Plus and Pittsburgh CW. Thank you so much for joining us, making us part of your 4th of July celebration. McKenzie with Valesky trailing. Finds the outlet to Real. Real, you can tell that left foot is his strongest.
Yeah.
Willis. Turner. Chambers.
That's a great
slicing
ball
it through Ferris, but here comes Morton, and he'll get it on the second chance.
Good job by Morton there. He had no choice but to throw his body out in front of him because he knew he wasn't going to get it completely, and did a great job there of blocking that.
Morton has been stronger with his timing on those types of plays in recent matches. He struggled early in the season with knowing when to come out, but here he's on top of it. Dos Santos overran a long ball, but it's given away to Jordan Dover, and a big-time foul from Real. That's probably going to be a card, and it will be. Real, well, he would probably argue I had to do it, or else Dover was going to have a clean look from 20.
You could see he was just that half a step short, and he was not going to be able to stop because he was sliding on the turf, and Dover read it, I think, and just went over the top and knew he was going to get clipped.
Dover went soaring through the air like a superhero. And tumbling down, took a skid as well. The surface is still rather wet from a pre-kickoff downpour we had around 7:30. Kickoff was delayed about 45 minutes. Okay, so Kenardo Forbes will be the trigger man for Pittsburgh. Can they be opportunistic here? Hounds have missed on a couple of looks in recent minutes, but they appear to be finding themselves as this first half wears on.
I wonder if he could get this ball to dip down and catch the turf on the way to the goal. It would really, oh, he's looking for a cross.
Off a couple of bodies, and McKenzie and Greenspan, he might have got it off his arm, but play continues. Right back in, Kerr, can he get there? Dos Santos actually took it away from him. And Dos Santos says, I didn't know, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think he got the call either. That's what he was talking to Kerr. I think he says, you got to tell me, you know.
Right.
And he didn't hear anything. But that was a great opportunity again. We're really knocking on the door here, trying to break the shell and get into the net, which we've been doing very well for the last 3 games.
Positive developments for the Hounds, and not every match is going to be like the last 3 have been, where they've run away with it. So this might be the one they have to grind out here in this homestand. Bunky, Azil, and Chambers, and Chambers gets that call. Really could have gone either way on the ball out over the sideline. Tune into ESPN3 on July 12th for a special Friday night edition of Wednesday Night Soccer when Tacoma Defiance invades the fortress that is Zions Bank Stadium to slow down a surging Real Monarchs side in Utah. It's Wednesday Night Soccer on a Friday. See it all July 12th on ESPN3, the national platform for the USL Championship, Wednesday Night Soccer. Not this week, though, due to the holiday and all that surrounds it. So Bethlehem, the steal, still in a 0-0 game. They have to feel pretty good about that right now, I'd imagine. Harriel stops up inside the sideline.
Yeah, the Hounds have had the better of the shots and chances right now, and have started really picking it up a little bit and closing players down like this, making it hard for them to get out of there. Oh, that was
Ferris.
a trip right there.
Sent Dover down, and Ferris gets the ball right back. Chambers barrels right through. Adewale, who came out to challenge. Now it's getting physical on the south side. Here's a deep one for Valesky. He'll have to turn tail and get after it, but he will. Inside the corner, Valesky looking to slip by. Given up to Kasai. Sammy Kasai and now Kevin Kerr. On his left foot and now his right. Step over move.
That's a great ball
Kerr for Valesky perhaps, but headed away. Harriel sends it outside the box and a foul against Kerr.
Yeah. Kerr's deadly when he's out on that wing and curling those balls in. All it needs is the player to just time it right and just get a deflection, and it's probably going to straighten the back of the net. But he's really dangerous in those situations, Matt.
What we're seeing now in the last 10 to 15 minutes for Pittsburgh are multiple players making runs in the box. That's exactly what Bob Lilly wants. You make players make decisions on you when defending.
Yeah.
That's what's led to a lot of the goals recently for Pittsburgh. Ferris gets the call here.
The referee's calling a lot more fouls than he did in the first 10-15 minutes. So
perhaps feeling the temperature of this game pick up, the referee Baldali getting a little more active.
They keep moving the ball forward, and the referee doesn't have one of his shaving cream things. He's not marking where the ball should be and the 10 yards.
Isn't that standard issue at this point? I feel like it should be. We've seen most referees come in here with the spray.
Really?
Spray that designates where the kick should be taken. James Chambers, this is scary, very close to the area where he scored in the playoffs last year. And he'll try to do it again, but he leaned back too much and skied it.
Yeah, that was wishful thinking there. I don't know. It took 2 steps to the ball and really stabbed at it, and that's why he took off and sailed over the top of the crossbar. I don't know whether he thought he could catch people asleep there or what it was, but it was a bit of a wasted free kick.
It's been interesting. The last 7 matches, the Hounds have been outpossessed in every one of them. They've also been protecting big leads, so I'm not sure how much to read into it. Tonight, pretty close to 50-50. In the early going, Valesky nods it down. It's Kasai, a bit of a heavy touch. He's going to have to chase, and he won't be able to win that race. Harriel just protected the ball enough. And that classic move.
But they've got him down in this end again, and that's where they want to try and keep him, I would imagine, for the next 2 or 3 minutes, if they possibly can, create some more chances before the end of the first half.
Harriel puts some mustard on this throw. And it will drop down to Joe Greenspan. 6'6" center back to Dos Santos. Valesky's in against Real. Real got ahead to it. Romero's off his line for a bit, but now he gets back. Valesky, Dover, spinning it in. Too tall for Dos Santos. Kasai overstepped it. And now it's Harriel to Willis. Bit of a dangerous ball, but now Bethlehem will handle Cortez. And Turner, the 17-year-old. Cole Turner made 3 straight starts now. First pro assist last week. Young man from Maryland. Now 10 matches played before he turns 18 at the pro level. That's something to be recognized. Here's Real with it.
It's happening more and more, though, in the USL too, Matt. You know, these younger players are getting plenty of playing time and becoming really good. And getting the opportunity to play a lot more than they would normally.
Especially teams like this that have the academy pipeline, and a giveaway from McKenzie. Dos Santos sniffed it out. 42nd minute, tough ball there from Bonkiazil, but then falling over on the pursuit, Issa Rayan. Joe Greenspan, who's slipped himself on the wet turf here before, says thank you very much.
I'm just laughing again. We talked about this. This is not Greenspan's favorite conditions when it's been raining and slick. He always seems to have that starting slip and gets caught a couple of times or miscues the ball.
Against Charlotte, a misstep from Greenspan on the wet surface led to a red card, and the Hounds playing short. Real runs up the back of Dos Santos. And a quick restart. Kasai, Dover, trying to catch Bethlehem napping, but he crushed that ball to Dover.
Yeah, that was, I think it was a tweener, and it was like a shot and a cross. But really need to take a lot more off that ball, just one player in the box.
Going short with it is Romero. Well, he's wanted to go short with it 1,000 times. He finally got it to his man, his intended receiver, and Shavani Willis. And the build-up for Bethlehem. Approaching the half, I can't imagine much time will be added on. It might even be 0. We haven't seen any delays for injury. Just one card on the sheet was handed to Real. Another takeaway from Dos Santos, and here come the Hounds. Dos Santos has options, gives to Kerr. Kerr has Valesky making a run, goes back to Dos Santos, dummies it through, but the Hounds were on the same page there.
What's Dos Santos thinking there?
I think he thought he had Kasai behind him, I'm not sure.
Yeah, you've got to make sure before you let it go. That's a great opportunity. Again, we've let it go, you know. The player that made the mistake over here is still down on the ground and lost the ball.
That's Willis. Yeah, he was the one who just put on a platter for Dos Santos. Terrible giveaway, and Willis, now he's looking for medical assistance, and Akira Umeki, the athletic trainer for the Steel, will trot out. Into the 45th minute we go, scoreless in Pittsburgh, between the only 2 Pennsylvania teams in the USL Championship. The Hounds and the Steel. I'm Matt Geico alongside Paul Child, and we're happy to have you along. Delayed as it might be, so dusk is settling in here in Pittsburgh as we're not even through one half.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him here. He made a bad touch on the ball.
Got
his foot stomped on, but he made the mistake, and then he was looking for a free kick and stayed down there, and
could have hurt Bethlehem big time.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to get that foul call from Willis in that spot. Just
no.
Friendly bit of advice.
But it happens so quick too. It's hard for a referee to see that kind of thing happen when you stand on somebody's foot, but I don't think it was intentional anyway.
1 minute of extra time added on. Greenspan won that physical confrontation with Ferris. There are 2 specimens right there in Ferris, who's just stocky and quick, and Greenspan, long, lanky, and tough to get around. This is Greenspan serving one high, and Dos Santos lets it go through and now catches up against Real 1v1. Dos Santos nearly stumbled down, but he kept it alive. Put his hand down to the pitch.
He did really well there. He was falling all over the place and still got a touch on the ball and kept it under control.
So Pittsburgh has an opportunity to strike before the half. Can they do it? Kerr.
Yeah, Kerr's got to. He's going to look for somebody through. Oh, what
in
a
tight
nice
spaces.
Ball.
Slid it through to Valesky. Dover. And it's Dos Santos. Tapped it too far to the middle. So Pittsburgh working hard in the attacking third, but nothing to show for it yet on the big scoreboard down across the way. Bonkiazil, and you saw the hand in the air from the referee Baldawi. That's it for the first half. From Highmark, polite applause from the crowd, still waiting to erupt though. Here at the stadium, the Hounds, a scoreless half. Is that allowed? They haven't had one of those in a long time. In fact, I believe it goes back to the second half against Ottawa 4 weeks ago. Last time they were held off the score sheet in a 45-minute span. So Paul, better as the half went along for the Hounds.
Oh yeah, definitely. The last 20 minutes in this first half was definitely mostly Hounds. I don't think we even saw Bethlehem in the other end, maybe once or twice, but really came on strong there towards the end of the first half.
Well, stick with us through halftime. We'll have more after this on ESPN+.
USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL.
At Moe's, we've always been real Southwest. And we're proud of it. It's in our name after all. And we've always been real people, using real Southwest flavors, making real Southwest eats. And we've always built everything right on the line, fresh, just for you. Real, fresh Southwest. Welcome to Moe's. Try Moe's new Moho chicken, made with all-natural chicken breast and a refreshing citrus sauce.
All right, that's enough, you two. Don't paint your brother. No, you can't eat the clay. What can I say? Moms just know. I'm Christine Sorensen, and as a mom, I know parents know a lot. But for the few things we don't know, there's Kidsburg, your go-to resource for all the great things in our area for kids and families. Everything from kid-friendly events, creative learning, and help for parents. It's every Wednesday on KDKA TV, emailed to your inbox and online at kidsburg.org.
Okay, we hear you. Due to popular demand, #1 Cochran Nissan's 3-store supergroup just added store number 4.
Introducing #1 Cochran Nissan Cranberry and grand opening offers at all 4 stores. Lease the all-new Altima from just $209 a month or 0 APR for 3 years plus $2,000 customer cash and $1,000 extra for trades at #1 Cochran Nissan now.
You don't want to miss the action at Highmark Stadium Saturday, July 13th when the Tampa Bay Rowdies come to town for a 7 p.m. match. It's our Hall of Fame induction with a special Legends game at noon. See some of your favorite Riverhounds players from years gone by. Gates open at 5:30, dollar beers until kickoff. The first 1,000 fans will receive a free rally towel courtesy of Image 360. Find out more at riverhounds.com or call 412-865-GOAL.
Well, nothing on the board yet from Pittsburgh through one half on this 4th of July, the 7th annual 4th of July match at Highmark Stadium. Hounds and Steel squaring off from across the state. I'm Matt Geiger with Paul Child, and the Hounds have piled up some interesting and, well, explosive plays over the past few weeks. Let's take a look at some of the best ones from the first half of the season with help from our friends at the USL Championship. Creighton. Frankie to Dos Santos.
Oh, that's a great
has
ball.
A man streaking Nico
Chip.
He's got Nuhu off his line. Brett!
Yes.
It's in for the goal! Nico Brett does it himself on the brick down the sideline. Welcome to the good life. Brett's hot. That's now a 4th goal in his past 4 matches.
I think he was listening to me, Matt. What do you think?
Spinning away, the pressure of Akinyote. Giving to Dover. Dover right in the header, and the goal!
Wow. I don't know if Valesky got a piece of that or not, but hey, we've got a game right now, Matt.
He might have clipped it. He's taking the ball back. That's where you can find the Hounds and Kevin Kerr right now.
Great ball
Kerr
in.
near the corner, Marks.
Yes.
He scored!
Oh, great ball in from Kerr. Bending away from the keeper, right in between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box. Nothing better than a player running onto that and just getting really some power on it. Keeper couldn't do anything about it now. Good ball coming across now.
Same spot where Kerr just set up Birds. Right back in, and a goal! Oh my goodness, it's 3-0. The Hounds are putting the hammer down, and guess who on the back door? It's Marks again.
And another assist to Kevin Kerr.
Absolutely, Pittsburgh showing teeth here, sends across all the way through, and it's Kevin Kerr who finishes it off. No more than 5 minutes into the game. Bob Lilly loves it. Kevin Kerr loves it even more.
He has a real chance to establish himself as a player in this league.
No, that's great.
And there is Mertz on cue, flicking it to himself from near the area where he scored last week. Gave it to James. James back post cross. Kerr!
Oh, what a goal by Kerr!
Kevin Kerr rolling down Rodeo. It's 1-0 Hounds. Paul, I can't help but notice 3 of the 5 in the last 4 weeks. So this Hounds team is heating up with the temperature as of right now.
Definitely, you can see some great goals there, and I'm sure they're going to. I think they're going to come out this second half, and I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see some changes too, Matt, with the 3 players that aren't playing tonight getting in the game.
So we'll discuss that when we come back. Until then, enjoy this from the USL Championship.
Bears go for goal, and they find it!
Opiel's gone for goal, another deflection, off the post and in! Tacoma on top, shot, and goal! What a beauty!
Justin Dillon moving up the middle, he's going to push that ball wide toward Gonzalez. Gonzalez, a first touch cross, back inside for Dillon, and a goal!
Inside the 18, shot, pushed wide!
Some of the best from the first half. Yeah, we are halfway through the season, at least chronologically. Let's look at the news and notes from this past week. And we saw Loud United, and Christian Sorta lighted up last week. Player of the week, 2 spectacular goals. We actually narrated his highlights at the half this past Saturday, so he really stood out in that way. The DC United affiliate gets some plaudits there. Phoenix Rising stays on top of the USL Championship power rankings, and by the way, the Hounds are climbing. Obviously, they're getting attention from around the league, and there you see coaching. Some changes about the time of the year where you start to see teams that are struggling, Paul, make some adjustments.
Yeah, it's halfway through the season, and you know they got a lot of games left, and now they're starting to change things around a little bit, getting some new players, maybe some position changes too, creating some opportunities and scoring some goals, and some players coming through for them too.
Yeah, here we go with the team of the week. There's a familiar face. He hasn't played in this match yet, but Robbie Mertz, the Hounds midfielder, the 22-year-old from Upper St. Clair, Pennsylvania, which is just down the road from here in the South Hills. So great to see him get the call there for the team of the week after his 2-goal performance last week. So here we are. If the standings look a little crowded to you, it's because they are. You see, especially in that bottom half, what, 4 teams separated by 5 points from Pittsburgh up to Ottawa. So Pittsburgh has an opportunity here to continue to make up ground with all the games in hand they have.
Yeah, definitely. Only got 14 games. Some of the teams above us, 17, 16, got a great chance with games in hand.
And they'll have one of those. Well, you could argue this is the one in hand, one of them in hand, because not many teams are playing here on this 4th of July. Coming up this weekend, though, the Hounds will be back in action. There you go, a 2-match week, taking on the Charlotte Independents, a team they drew 0-0 here. That'll be a 7 o'clock start. Swope Park in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay tries to stay right near the top of the table, 5 Eastern. And next Wednesday, Bethlehem Steel back in action again, another midweek match against another young squad in the New York Red Bulls, too. Let's go on to the Golden Boot race and see who is in position to pick up that trophy at the end of the year. Kevon Frater of New Mexico United has been hot all year, but there you see Solomon Asante. He's rising with Phoenix Rising, 12 and 15, plus 9 assists. That's what really stands out to me.
It does really stand out, that he's not just scoring goals, he's creating them too, you know. And also, you know, a lot of good goals there and a lot of assists.
Yeah, we saw some highlights from a couple of those gentlemen just a moment ago. How about the clean sheet leaders? John McCarthy. Well, Tampa Bay's been locking down everybody with 9 clean sheets, and so in more than half of John McCarthy's appearances, he has blanked the opponent. Of course, give credit to his defenders in front of him and the team, but he's right there if you're talking about the Golden Gloves this year. And some players from out west as well. And, oh, by the way, we do have one other match going on right now. The 4th of July is not exclusive domain of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, so we'll get you that one, 1-1 in the North Carolina, the Tar Heel Derby, if you will. NCFC, which will be in here in a couple of weeks, going up against Charlotte, Pittsburgh's next opponent. A couple of matches Friday, and then a usual busy slate on Saturday. That's it for us at the half. When we come back, the start of the second half, we'll see which team can get on top in this Pennsylvania matchup between the Hounds and Bethlehem. Stay with us on Pittsburgh CW and ESPN+.
Pleasant Valley Golf Club, nestled in the Laurel Highlands of southwestern Pennsylvania, is now open to the public. Enjoy 18 holes of championship golf with a new island green and fully stocked pro shop. Our clubhouse features a large ballroom for weddings or private parties, 2 restaurants serving delicious food, a sports bar, 2 state-of-the-art golf simulators, and an outdoor patio with gas fire pit and picturesque view. Pleasant Valley Golf Club, now open to the public. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds will be offering their soccer camps this summer with a refreshed focus and new curriculum. The summer camp program is for players aged 4 to 13 and led by RDA coaches with appearances by professional players throughout the week. Each participant will receive a ball, a Riverhounds SC summer soccer t-shirt, and a ticket for the Riverhounds SC game versus Loudoun United FC Friday, August 23rd. Contact the Academy office at 412-325-7238 or register online at riverhounds.com. You don't want to miss the action at Highmark Stadium Saturday, July 13th when the Tampa Bay Rowdies come to town for a 7 p.m. match. It's our Hall of Fame induction with a special Legends game at noon. See some of your favorite Riverhounds players from years gone by. Gates open at 5:30, $1 beers until kickoff. The first 1,000 fans will receive a free rally towel courtesy of Image 360. Find out more at riverhounds.com or call 412-865-GOAL.
I should have been a cowboy. Toby Keith and his That's Country Bro Tour 2019. Red Solo Cup. Friday, September 27th, 7:30 at Highmark Stadium. With special guests Clay Walker and Gabby Barrett. Toby Keith. Whiskey for my man. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Produced by Trusty Entertainment. Toby Keith and his That's Country Bro Tour.
Ticking down the minutes until halftime ends here at Highmark Stadium. There you see it's turned into a beauty of an evening, like I was saying. And, well, it wasn't so beautiful to start, but once we got things rolling, Pittsburgh really warmed to the task in that first half, despite the lack of goals on the board. Bethlehem was on the front foot at the start, but, well, here come the Hounds. Bethlehem's been a little bit sloppy coming out of their own end. And here's Valesky mishandling a great little ball there from Jordan Dover. Kind of a theme from the first half because Christian's gotten some pretty good service.
Yeah, he has really, and could have got at least 1 or 2 goals out of probably about 4 chances. I think you're going to see another one. That was a great opportunity there by
Wale, yes.
Yeah, and he should have just adjusted a little bit and got that on target. But this was a great flick on. Looks a little bit hesitant with the shot. You know, probably should have hit it hard and low with the surface being real slick. And it would have really made it difficult for the keeper to do something with.
Hounds have been pretty direct on the counters, too. They're trying to catch Bethlehem with numbers up the field. And there's another back post cross, this time from Dover to Valesky. So Valesky had 3 of the Hounds' shots in the opening half. And we're ready to go. So these two teams are eager to get at it. And it's going to be very interesting as we get to the end of this second half because the city of Pittsburgh's scheduled fireworks display is still on as far as we know. That'll be going on down to our left near the Point State Park, where the two rivers, the Mon and the Allegheny, come together to form the Ohio. That'll be around 9:35 that the pyrotechnics will begin. And of course, we're hoping for some offensive fireworks here. If you can pardon the pun. I can't avoid that type of a line on the 4th of July.
That was pretty good.
Oh, well, thank you, Paul. I'm Matt Geico with Paul Child. Send your love letters and hate mail this way. Find us online somewhere. If you like. Bethlehem in the blue, working from left to right, and here they come again. Spun around, and keeping his balance was Zandy. He sends it over to this near wing for Harriel. Edge of the area, trying to slip inside was Rayan, but defended well by Toby Adewale and friends.
Yeah, great steal there. Oh.
And Jordan Dover hightails it down the touchline.
It's still going.
Dover with the ball bouncing. Haven't had any rain since just before the kickoff of the first half. So I wonder if that surface is drying out. It is a new surface this year, so that would help the drainage. One might imagine. I'm no expert in agronomy, but I think that's the case. Yeah. I haven't seen too many balls skid or guys lose their footing in maybe the last 15 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, that's true, Matt. The players aren't slipping over as much as they were in the first 10, 15 minutes, and obviously getting the footing is coming back.
Zandy doubling back. Kasai ripped it away, but not legally. This second half is brought to you by No. 1 Cochrane. Only No. 1 Cochrane provides you with a clearly better car buying experience. No pressure, no hassles, and a whole bunch of benefits, including a 3-day, 150-mile money-back guarantee. No. 1 Cochrane coming out and field.
Great steal there by Dos Santos.
Dos Santos sending Valesky in, and the ball to his back foot, and he couldn't gather it.
Yeah, it wasn't a good ball to him, and he couldn't do much with it, to be honest with you. It hit him in the back of the heel. and tried to put it in front of himself so he could get a shot off, but no way with that pass. Great opportunity, a great steal by DeSantos again. Player making a missed kick.
That's been the theme tonight. Pittsburgh has started to turn up that pressure. Chambers on the run for Bethlehem, but Joe Greenspan with the Hounds and the white will at least fend him off and force the throw, allowing Pittsburgh to get some numbers back. Rayon playing a two-man game there with Zandy, but didn't amount to much. Cleared back out, held by the wingback Harriel. Looked to slide it right back through to Zandy. That's defended again, and Canardo Forbes, the midfielder, this time doing the job for the Hounds.
Yeah, Hounds doing really well there, just getting back possession and then giving it away that way. We can't keep on doing that.
Oh, Dos Santos took either an elbow or a shoulder to the face, and the yellow card is already out. It'll be the second for Bethlehem and the first to Shivani Willis.
That might have been a foot. It got his leg up.
It could have been. It was so quick. I had a hard time figuring out exactly which body part of Willis clipped Dos Santos, and I say clipped, not trying to minimize it, but it was such a quick motion.
Yeah, he just got his foot up.
Yeah, that's what happened. I was screened out there. It was his foot.
Yeah. Caught him right in the face, and DeSantos, okay, he's getting up. He's holding his chest, actually. It might not have hit him in the face. It might have hit him in the chest.
Dangerous play, yellow card to Willis. Bethlehem steal, now 35 yellows on the year. By comparison, Pittsburgh has just 13. That's the fewest in the 36-team league. Well, Greenspan was trying to seek out Dos Santos right away, not giving him a break, and Dos Santos just couldn't get around the screen. He was defended well. Adewale is going to have to do well with this one. He's being rushed by Rayon, and what will it be?
Offside.
Free kick? Or no, it is an offside. Correct. The assistant referee on this near wing, Ben Pilgrim and Caleb Perry, carry the flags tonight. It is a muggy evening. You can feel the humidity drifting into our press box. We closed the windows at the half to regain the dehumidifying effect of the air conditioner, but yes, it is a steamy Thursday evening. Real heads it, but not all the way out into safety. But Chambers will take now.
That's a good ball there.
It is a great one. It'll settle to Rayon. He and Adewale do battle, and Adewale will win it and send it. It'll bounce out, but Toby Adewale, the third-year Hound, he's burning some calories tonight. He's had to be on top of things with some speed on the wings for Bethlehem.
I think Bob wants them to start putting some pressure on here on these defenders, especially with these real mistakes with the touch. They've given up the ball 2 or 3 times, and offside again over here.
And remember, it is an 18-year-old keeper in goal. I know he's unbeaten in 4 starts and has a .724 save percentage, but Tomas Romero, the El Salvadorian, he's still cutting his teeth at this level. Average age of Bethlehem Steel's starting 11 tonight is 20.3 years old. Without James Chambers, it's 19.1. Thanks to my buddy Mark Goodman for digging up that stat. He sent that to me via Twitter at the half. So under 20 years old without the captain Chambers, who's 32, really skews that mean. Kerr,
great position for him.
He's done this before, and McKenzie got the foot in the way. That was right where Kevin Kerr set up Mertz twice last week for goals. Corner kick for the Hounds.
As I said at the half, I think we're going to see some substitutions, probably by the 60th minute. I think Bob is going to try and put in some, maybe Nico Brett, and wouldn't hurt to get those guys in, let them get some stretch and some runs in for 20 minutes or so.
Well, the Hounds are sitting right now, their leading goal scorer and their leading assist man, or tied for their leading assist man with Ryan James, the wingback, and then Nico Brett, the top goal getter, with 5. James has 4 helpers. Both are sitting right now. Forbes' corner. Dos Santos couldn't get on top of it with the noggin. And he's down on a knee at the 6, contemplating how that one went wrong.
Yeah, I think he's got to decide there. He's not going to be able to get it on goal, so it might have been better just to let it go.
Stepping up Kasai again. The Hounds scrambled to it. Rivera has it pulled away by Valesky, and then Valesky gave it away. But sliding in was Forbes. Good job, good effort to keep the Hounds in possession, but they'll have to regroup now. Rivera bumped, and It'll be a throw. No, it'll be a kick, pardon me. The foul was called. Didn't hear the whistle. Nathan Harriel, the guilty man. 53rd minute from Pittsburgh. Hounds are having to work a little bit harder, or a lot harder, for their goals tonight than they have the past 3 matches. They scored 5 against Atlanta, 3 against New York, and just last week 4 against Birmingham. Nothing yet. Dos Santos out wide near the touchline this time. And Toby Keith stepping up to blast that one away was Cortez, the defender.
I thought it deflected off a Riverhound at the end, but it obviously was already out of bounds.
Apparently not. Pittsburgh gets that call, but taken away and picked up by Chambers. Chambers knocked it to the midfield circle, and Danny Rivera gets a yellow card. A little surprising there. Taking the feet out from under a member of the Bethlehem Steel. I didn't get his number as he lies prone on the surface. Our second yellow card for a trip. That is Issa Rayan, who is in some discomfort.
Yeah, he came in pretty hard there behind him, as you're going to see. Well, and took his legs from under him, so probably deserved yellow card.
For the second time, the athletic trainer, Umeki, called into action. We have this moment. I want to remind you that you can get your updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for the Riverhounds or Bethlehem Steel, and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on the next match or next matches as they were. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. And taking this opportunity to have a little regroup, Toby Adewale, in fact, he's getting a wound bandaged up by Tim Smith, the Hounds athletic trainer. And Canardo Forbes is chatting with Bob Lilly, the coach, and the coach on the field, having a discussion. And that's part of the reason why Canardo Forbes is here. Bob feels like he can act as his surrogate at times. He knows when to kick up the tempo, when to slow it down, when to attack, when to pull back. Just feels like Canardo Forbes is the engine that runs this thing.
Yeah, he's the go-to man for getting things done on there, I think.
Or at least he's the governor on the accelerator. That's how I would probably describe it. Don't want to shortchange anybody, but yeah, there's a reason why Forbes wears the yellow armband. Taking a step up the surface is Harriel, and he thought that Chambers was going to make an incisive run, and Rivera handed that one away. Zandy tried to play it through, and it bounces off of legs, and fortunately for Pittsburgh, right to Kyle Morton. Oh goodness, that could have been something for Bethlehem, and it would have been handed over to them.
Yeah, really.
So some nervous moments for both sides early in this second half on turnovers in their own end. Kerr can't get to that ball. Harriel took the worst of that collision. Spun around and jackknifed by it. Rivera on the toss back in. Flicked on by Dos Santos. Valesky is there. Danny Rivera on his preferred right foot. Forbes.
Nice ball there.
Sammy Kasai has a look, and it's blocked. Now Thomas Van Keith hopping and stopping. He and Kasai. Kasai draws the foul just outside the 18.
And that could be another yellow card there by the referee, but he's not giving it. The player just got a yellow card too.
Doesn't appear to be the case. The cards will stay in the back pocket. The referee Baldo, he does have that spray, by the way, we were talking about in the first half. Maybe he forgot it.
He forgot it, yeah.
In the first half. Now he has it for the second. Perhaps he was reminded. And there you see Canardo Forbes. Can he be King Kenny again? He's had a fantastic year. 4 assists, tied with Ryan James for the most on the club.
Here's a great opportunity again here for the Hounds.
He goes for
goal! What a shot! What a goal!
Forbes fights for his right to party on the 4th of July. What a thunderbolt!
Oh, he caught everybody by surprise. He caught me really by surprise, Matt, because I thought he was going to curl that ball into the penalty spot, and he just drilled that ball. And keeper got a hand on it, I think, but boy, it was traveling.
How about it from Forbes? I was talking about his assist acumen, but there he is, putting it into the short side, shelved it under the crossbar. The keeper, Romero, didn't have a prayer to react once it got past the wall.
Yeah, I think he saw it way too late, and he was going such speed that I think he may have got a kind of a touch, or it was already hitting the net before he got his hand up there, actually.
So a set-piece goal for Pittsburgh. They had 4 from open play last week, so they're mixing it up here. Carlo Forbes had a couple like that in his Hounds career, where he'll surprise you. Usually he's looking for a teammate, not that time.
Oh, nice touch.
And there is Forbes again. Canardo Forbes to the byline, and the ball skipped away.
A great first touch there, and then got the second touch when it
squad. I feel like we were hyping him up a couple of minutes ago. He delivered there for sure.
Maybe that's what Bob was telling him, to get a goal.
Yeah, why don't you go out there and just bury one from outside the 18? That'd be nice, Kenny, if you could do that.
Yeah, that was a nice shot there, and put the Hounds right on the board right away here, which is really good and what they needed. I think now you'll start them seeing picking up and the confidence building a little bit more, and might be seeing some subs coming in, like I said, about the 60th minute still.
Well, the Hounds have their noses in front. They're in pursuit of victory number 6. They have 7 draws on the year, so some points that they either squandered or wasted earlier in the season, those aren't going to come back. But you get on a run like this, you win 3 and 4 in a row. They're looking for 4 in a row. That's how you make up for that sort of thing.
Rivera got tackled again there. Caught this. He's looking, the referee didn't give him another card again, because he's just going,
second, right? Yeah,
he's going right in and hitting players, and he doesn't need to. And obviously, he's a young player and he's getting some time, Matt. And sometimes, you know, you get over anxious and he's diving in there. And I think you're going to see James come in and probably take his spot.
Bunky Azil steps on the accelerator, then pulls up. He wanted to go deep for Kerr, who was making the run on Route 1, but it was intercepted. Hounds get on that second ball, though. They've been good with that lately. It's not always about the beautiful play with this squad, but they're usually able to corral the loose ones. Rivera had that one intercepted and taken right away, though.
Yeah, he's chasing now. He's trying to make up for it. And as I said, he's a young player that's got to learn, and this is a great way of learning, and he's got to make the right decisions.
Chambers got to that ball. Oh, he nearly guided it right through the needle to Ferris. He was behind Greenspan and Bunky Azil up the center of that Hounds back line.
Stole
Forbes,
again.
How about that? Canardo Forbes, and now Steven Dos Santos. What'll he do? Dos Santos tries to get a little nifty outside the box, and it doesn't pay off.
Yeah, was looking for, hoping to foul.
First substitution coming on for the Hounds. Adewale, will he get whistled here? No. That was close, as he confronted Issa Rayon just outside the 18. Stepping to Harry L. into trouble. Greenspan stepped up. Greenspan called for the foul. He puts his palms down toward the ground as if to say, I'm calm, everything's all right. I just want to have a quiet talk with you, sir. Harry L. rises to his feet. The Hounds are going to make a sub, and it'll be Ryan James
Rivera
for Danny Rivera,
which I thought was going to happen. You know, it made a couple of mistakes here and give away some passes. You don't want that to happen when you're up 1-0. You've got to take make sure you don't take any chances now. Good opportunity here for Bethlehem, though. They got the same opportunity we just scored on. So
a little bit further out, more of a straight-on angle, though. So we'll see who handles Chambers. He's an artist. He's an artiste with these set pieces. He'll run by, though. Ferris ticked off a body for a corner. Ferris tried the lefty boot, and there was a gap in the Hounds' wall, but from far enough out where Morton probably felt comfortable. So Bethlehem gets just its second corner of the match.
It's going to be a short one, I think. Yeah, he took a short one, yeah.
It'll be played to Rayon.
And that's a bit of a waste, I think, there, with an opportunity to put it in the box into the mixer.
And now they're all the way back in front of their own goal.
Yeah, so the Hounds need to really push up here and get out of their end. And
deflected ball gathered on by Chambers of the Steel, the captain. Chambers couldn't find room. Canardo Forbes drug that right foot, and it's out into touch, and here comes the substitution. Ryan James James, the first-year Riverhound, 25 years old, from Ontario, Canada. This will be his 15th appearance, so he's seen action in every USL match. And Paul, not only is he a defender, but he also leads this team. I mentioned tied for the lead in assists, lead in interceptions, lead in crosses, in minutes played coming into tonight. So he's done a lot. He's asked to do a lot, and now he'll be asked to help protect the lead.
Yeah, I think that's a wise decision by Bob, and I think you might see, as I say, maybe another sub or two coming in, maybe with 10 minutes to go. And
fine play from Kasai to drive by and deflect that pass from Bethlehem. Kerr latches on. Thomas Vankiazil, 2 years ago, the Division II Player of the Year. Great rookie for the Hounds, and now settling in his second season. Vankiazil got it back from Morton, escaping some Bethlehem high press. It was more of a one-man effort. Dos Santos from Vankiazil, switch of play, finds James.
And this is where you want James to take players on and put them under pressure.
First touch is a good one from James. He'll send through to the spot, and a little maybe lower than what he wanted, and it was headed off at the pass by Matt Real.
First kick of the game too, so he's got to get used to the surface and the speed and the tempo. And
Rayon, a good one to Shivani Willis.
Oh.
Willis, a square ball, slides all the way through. Chambers nearly connecting to Ferris at the 18.
If Chambers knew what was behind him, he had nobody there but one of his own players. He could have just turned and set that player up for a shot, but obviously didn't get any calls. And maybe the younger players don't know that, and Chambers being the older one, they don't want to yell at him and say, hey, let it go.
Speaking of let it go, Walter Cortez had a vision, to use your words, Paul, but he missed by a wide margin from about 30 yards out.
Yeah.
Morton's goal kick. Hasn't had that many, as this match has worn on. Pittsburgh has bottled up Bethlehem to a decent degree, and Pittsburgh gets a foul call on the battle for the ball.
Chambers, I think, the veteran player trying to get away with something there and disrupt the defender to get away with the ball, but didn't come off with it. The referee saw that.
So what idea does Joe Greenspan have? He'll backspin this one in the direction of Dos Santos. Heads it back across the face of goal. It's still free. Kevin Kerr, can he get onto it? It's at the feet of Valesky, and Romero stopped it, and it's under him. Still loose. Off to Kerr. It's blocked. What a scramble, and Romero has this one.
I think Valesky and Kevin Kerr were in the way of each other. They couldn't get out of the way. One of them couldn't get it, then the other one couldn't get it and get out of the way of Kerr trying to shoot it. It was a comedy of errors.
It looked more like a hockey play than a soccer play. It was just bouncing around off legs, off bodies.
And you can see right here, Kerr trying to hit Valesky. Now he's in the way, and now he's got the ball. Now they're in the way.
Kerr ended up with a pretty good look, actually, but Willis was the man who blocked it. I want to give him credit about it. Shivani Willis, the Jamaican, stepping back and perhaps saving a goal. Dover sending to the corner, and there is Christian Valesky again. The Nevadan slides in, and no one there close enough to pay off his effort.
Well, I thought that was Hound's ball, but the referee doesn't think so.
So too. Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform this year, the USL Academy. It allows clubs at all levels to develop their local youth and compete at the highest level across the U.S., including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. Speaking of Academy, plenty of Philadelphia Union Academy players and products in this Bethlehem Steel lineup, trying to dig their way out of a bit of a hole at the mid-season point. The Hounds are trying to keep this run alive to win their 4th in a row for the first time since 2013.
Oh.
Well, that ball was for Valesky, but
he didn't come for it.
It was telegraphed.
Oh.
And yeah, you're right. Valesky did stay stationary instead of coming back to. That was Dover who made the play.
That's a chemistry they just don't quite have with him at the moment. He kind of doesn't know. They don't know if he's coming for it or going, and then they make the pass, and then he's already checked and gone the other way. I think obviously he needs to get some more playing time with the players so that he can get the ideas of what they wanted to do and the best place for him to go.
Well, again, the Hounds play on Sunday. That's why you see Valesky instead of Brett with Dos Santos at the top of this Riverhounds 5-3-2, as Bob Lilly has laid out. Dos Santos and Brett have been deadly together. Here is Dos Santos, native of Cape Verde. Stutter step against Real. He and Real have gone toe-to-toe a couple of times tonight.
Yeah.
Hounds pull it back. Bunky is here.
Playing smart.
Dos Santos.
Oh, again, there we have it again, where there's a miscommunication. And,
Ferris put the ball in the feet of Toby Adewale, and Adewale did recover just in time as he was falling. Ferris, you lose your focus for a second, he's going to be by you.
Oh, yeah.
Forbes couldn't slide it by, blocked down by McKenzie.
A little bit casual with that pass too, Matt. Very difficult to try and get through the player to get it to him. Players flying all over the place here, and referee not calling anything.
Kasai, maybe the Hounds get an advantage there. They'll get the ball once more. Pittsburgh picking up the possession as the match has gone along. Feels like Bethlehem might have burned its legs out a little bit early on. They did well for a while, but you're seeing the more veteran side dictate terms more effectively as night falls.
Well, no rush now. They're up a goal and
right,
really,
yeah.
you know, taking the time out of the game and don't want to give anything away.
James soaring one across, but picked off by Zandy. Zach Zandy, one of a couple of native Philadelphians in this Bethlehem lineup. He's been a playmaker this year, but Zandy's only had 1 or 2 opportunities in dangerous areas tonight. Pittsburgh has done well to limit his chances with the ball at his feet. Same for Willis. He's almost played more of a defensive role. And here is Willis with the ball at his foot.
Well,
just let it by Kerr, who was reading it, but a little tardy.
He's done that a few times too, where he's really got, you know, cut out, where he's trying to send the ball, doesn't quite get the right touch on it, and gets beat.
Harriel against Ryan James, freshly checked into the game. James rejects that cross, and it's a throw. That's important. Not handing another corner over.
That's where the experience comes in a little bit with James. You know, his composure, waiting. He knows he's quick, and he can get that ball, win that ball back. Valesky's got to make an effort here and get on these players, though, and just stop jogging around, you know, and giving them free span of where they want to go.
That's what Nico Brett does pretty darn well when he's in there. His work rate's high, whether he has the ball or he doesn't.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him or Mertz coming in. I see Kerr maybe coming out at the 70th minute or 80th minute and getting an opportunity. I know they want Kevin. He's been played 90 minutes the last game too. Here's Bethel with the
Zandy. Oh, he wanted to go right back to Chambers on the 1-2, but it didn't work out. And now Valesky's going to turn and run, and this ball's too far away from him. And some controversy behind the play. James Chambers yelling at the assistant referee.
I think he's getting really frustrated, you know, with his players too a little bit. You know, he is the captain, and he's obviously the oldest player on the field, and it demands a lot more out of his players, which that's what you want from an experienced player.
This is his 4th year stateside, played mostly in his native Ireland prior to this. James Chambers making his 101st career appearance with Bethlehem Steel, so he's been the leader in that room for a while now. That's the role he's in, and he's a very fiery individual, as you can tell. As he nearly picks off our cameraman.
I'm surprised the referee.
Wow, that could have easily been disciplined.
Yeah.
And oh, here he comes. That is a yellow to Chambers.
That's 2, is it?
Not to Chambers, no.
Oh, okay.
Real, Willis, and now Chambers. Oh yeah, that's inexcusable. He kicked it right at the at the cameraman.
It's unsportsmanlike conduct, and
well, it's good to see that penalized.
This is where I think you're going to see a change. Mertz is coming in, and I would think it would be for Kerr.
Well, while Chambers has his tantrum, he's wasting time as well, and not all of that is always made up in stoppage. So, as long time or maybe short-term soccer fans know, and he did give Mertz a chance to get off his seat and get ready to go. Mertz looking up to the heavens, wondering if it's going to rain or what's happening. 72nd minute. Don't jinx it, Robbie. As we play on here.
I think you're going to see it's going to be a good situation, because Mertz, he covers a lot of ground, and he's very, very quick. With this team, Bethlehem, they're getting a little bit tired right now. Can jump on some of these miscues and miskicks and make something happen out of them.
Well, Zandy's getting more aggressive, but he's stripped. And Dos Santos, well, doesn't take it easy on that one. He was not taking any chances. And Valesky just nodded it over to an open wing, but no one there.
He was on his own up there anyway, but...
And we'll have our first sub for Bethlehem, Axel Picasso. Ready to put his name on the score sheet. So Picasso and Mertz will likely check in together at the next dead ball. Bethlehem Steel, do they have an equalizer? It was Pittsburgh that came back and tied Bethlehem in Philadelphia a couple of months ago in these teams' first meeting of the season.
Oh, that's
Look
a
at that
great
header
note.
from Forbes. Finding Kerr. Kerr has James in tow, and he gives it to him. Ryan James on his left foot, now back to his right. Working with Kasai. And the Hounds can't make anything happen there near the touchline. And Ferris turns by Adewale, and then Ferris takes a swing at Adewale, who grabbed his jersey. Adewale is getting that yellow.
A professional foul too. I mean, he knew he wasn't going to catch him, and he could cause some danger.
I thought for a moment that he might be showing one to Ferris as well for the wild swing after the hold.
Oh, he's not pulling Kerr out. He's leaving him in. And,
Sammy Kasai will have a seat.
Sammy's done really well here. He got back, you know, at the start he was a little bit shaky and hesitant, but found his confidence and really came along and did really well. Worked very, very hard.
Made his debut a couple of months ago at Charleston, and I don't think any of us had any idea what type of a player he was, but he appears to have some savvy beyond his years.
Yeah.
Just 24 years old, fresh out of college. So Axel Picasso is in for Bethlehem. He'll replace Issa Rayan, who never really got on track tonight. An 18-year-old in for an 18-year-old out. The Texan replaces the Michigander in Rayan. Harriel pinned by James. Throw in Pittsburgh. James got some help from Kerr. That took away the options for Harriel. So now 2 subs for the Hounds and 1 for Bethlehem. About 15 minutes remaining, give or take. Just to clarify, just the 1 yellow card in that confrontation between Adewale and Ferris. Ferris did not get one, Adewale did. I thought for a moment that the referee, Malik Baldawi, was waving over Ferris, but he was actually just trying to keep Ferris away to prevent anything else from coming of that.
Oh.
Header right across the front of the goal by Greenspan. He had to deflect that cross. Cortez trying to find some room to the outside. Good little ball here to Zandy, but he's run into by about 3 or 4 Hounds who pressured him. And now Pittsburgh will have possession here as the switch of play is picked off by Forbes and given to Dos Santos. Dos Santos defended well by Turner, but Pittsburgh will gladly take that throw.
Yeah, Dos Santos still did well, taking the player on, making him having to knock the ball out, but good defending there.
Wide open spaces down by the Monongahela. That'll be Kevin Kerr on it. Not the widest of fields, but yeah, switches can still be effective here at Highmark Stadium. Bonky Azil, Forbes, one-touch ball. Mertz has his first look. 2 goals last week for the Pittsburgh native. Mertz decides to give this one off to Dover. Bonky Azil.
Nice ball there.
Forward to Dos Santos. So he had Tommy V making a cut, but couldn't make the return pass. Ferris.
Oh.
He was a step slow, and then he barreled right through Adewale, who says, where's the card there? And Ferris takes the worst of it.
That's a strange call. I thought he was offside because that was a good challenge. I mean, it was a good tackle, but
32-9-7-6.
Adewale letting him know that I'm a defender and I'm going to make sure you don't go past me.
Canardo Forbes' set-piece goal. He did it himself, has the Hounds ahead 1-0. See the rain is starting to fall again here at Highmark Stadium from the low-angle camera. It very well might have been offside coming in over the midfield line.
Yeah, because it wasn't a foul. It wasn't calling a foul right away, so I'm guessing that's what it was.
Both coaches up right on top of the touchline, barking instructions. James, and on the overlap, it's Steven Dos Santos. They call the man Duba. No points in this one for once.
Nice little flick.
Good ball to James, but he mishandled.
Yeah. Again, just coming into the game, got to get the feel for the game and the ball and what's going on. And
look at Bob Lilly's gesture toward Adewale, I think it is. Forbes chipping.
Nice ball to James again.
James retrieving. After the ball takes an awkward hop, he puts it right on the goalkeeper, Romero, who scoops it on 2 bounces.
Yeah, he needed to cut that one back, obviously, but couldn't get to it and get a good touch on it.
Well, Pittsburgh is 12 minutes away from a clean sweep of a 3-match homestand. This was the best of all possible outcomes, obviously. Did Hounds fans dare to dream this could happen? Well, their beloved 11 are close tonight. Morton, expert in time wasting, like all keepers. Keeping Axel Picasso at bay.
Oh, nice. Dos Santos, nobody behind him. Valesky went the total opposite way, and really wasn't. He was expecting just a flick on, but he was trying to redirect it.
I wonder if Dos Santos just got too much of it.
Yeah.
Caught a little too clean. He's a master of those flick-ons. We've seen it so many times this year, off the goal kicks, and, punts, long balls from the back line. Overall, Dos Santos has been as advertised this year, especially lately. Pittsburgh is 4-0 when he scores. No goals yet.
Somebody a little bit late here picking up in midfield. These players are getting a little bit free, and they're not really going anywhere, but they're getting open every now and again because somebody's, you know, passing a player on or just deciding I'm not going to go. We're okay here. Really can't afford to do that with just over 10 minutes to go in the game.
Bethlehem comes into this night 3 points behind Pittsburgh, but also having played 3 more matches than Pittsburgh. So more urgency definitely for the visitors tonight to get a result. They're in danger of dropping all 3 points. Mertz ran through. Willis flicked it back behind him.
And there's the open man again. Oh.
Can Valesky strip? Dos Santos tries to help, but he is unable to do so. McKenzie, that's a bad ball there to the far wing, but it'll be picked up. Thankfully for him in the steal, James Chambers. That's the captain's duty right there to get to that one, and he did. Chambers leads this side and passes. He always has the ball at his feet, it seems like. Nathan Harriel, 18-year-old wingback, put it to the corner. Ferris stumbled over Adewale.
Ferris, that was payback time, I think, from the Toby run over him in the center of the park, and it was his opportunity to get a little knock back.
Next week, tune in to ESPN 3, July 12th, for a special Friday night edition of Wednesday Night Soccer, Tacoma Defiance and Real Monarchs. Wednesday Night Soccer on a Friday, again, next Friday, July, going back in time, July 12th on ESPN 3. That's the league showcase matchup next week. As for this week, 4 matches on July 4th. As Forbes takes the body blow.
Smart move there by Forbes, using his body shielding the ball. Player had no choice but to run into him and knock him over, and they get a free kick out of it.
Well, can Pittsburgh stay on that front foot? Bob Lilly, their coach, has commended them for doing so when they've scored once. They've more often than not scored pretty quickly after. Mertz guided it through off a leg. Jordan Dover faked one way, shot the other. How about that save from Romero? Corner kick, Pittsburgh.
I thought that was going up and hitting the crossbar and coming back out on the field, but it didn't. It went behind the net.
I believe it struck one of the support wires that that hold up the netting. We'll take another look at it here to confirm or refute. Yes, it hit that black post back there that keeps the net nice and pretty.
Keeper got a good save on it, though, for sure.
Definitely Romero's best. He hasn't had too many opportunities tonight to show off, and he was beaten from outside the box by Canardo Forbes. That's the only goal on the board right now. And it is that man Forbes now looking to play setup. He has the big targets in there, of course, and Joe Greenspan. Toby Adewale is in the mix, too.
Referee taking a long time here over this.
Kerr's having a drink at the end line. So is Valesky. Or pardon me, that was Valesky now handing it off to Dos Santos. Everyone's having a sip.
Yeah, it's really humid out there.
And hey, when you're up by a goal, yeah, you'll accept all the water breaks that you can get. Low cross this time, Dos Santos on the misfire. I'm Matt Geica with Paul Child. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Ricardo Forbes, the captain, has the Hounds ahead, looking for their 4th straight win. And Paul, now it's time to take some chances if you're Bethlehem Steel.
Oh yeah, I think you're going to see another sub coming in and trying to really push onto the Hounds and make something happen, make a mistake, or they can jump on.
Steel have 2 subs remaining. Pittsburgh has 1. Turner to the corner. Adewale fended it off, but Chambers got it right back. Now running through here is Zandy, looking to play a late breaking. Who was that on that far wing side? I believe that was Walter Cortez, but he did not get it through to him as Morton got in the way. So the tension builds with Pittsburgh protecting.
Yeah.
Ferris got a deflection, but to no one in particular on that direct ball. Kyle Morton.
Smart there by Morton, telling James not to get it because he can take it back into the box and pick it up and do some more.
Morton looking to improve his record. Yeah, exactly. He's done that a little bit.
Oh dear, and he miskicked it completely.
Ferris right on to Morton. Goodness gracious. Ferris had more time than he thought, I believe, as well. Tough to tell, of course, with your back to the defenders rushing to try to help out Morton.
Well, what the heck?
I was looking down, so I'll confess I didn't even see him strike the ball.
He hit it with his shin instead of his foot, and it spun like 10 yards away from him, coming back towards him, and went right to Ferris. I mean, those are the kind of goals you love to get, or chances to get. And
I feel like the Hounds have already had their share of goalie gaffes. They had the one big one from Austin Pack in the Ottawa game that helped the Fury rally from 2-0 down to tie the Hounds 2-2. That was very early last month. Mertz draws the call, spinning like a dervish as always. Robbie Mertz, slippery and even more so with the light rain falling.
Yeah, but he put some pressure on their players right away with the ball and his speed, and made them cough it up in the end and give them a free kick. Great job. Another player coming in for the Hounds.
In fact, it's sub central here. We'll have 2 subs for Bethlehem and 1 coming up for Pittsburgh. For Bethlehem, you'll see Schneider Borgelin, 17-year-old Haitian, checking into the match. He wears number 63. He replaces Ferris, who, well, gave it a game effort, including that last kick, but didn't have the finishing touch tonight to add to his total of 5 goals on the season. And Steve Kingay, pardon me, from Cameroon, replaces Shivani Willis. Kingay and Borgelin in. And the waiting Hound sub is Mark Forrest, the rookie from Lehigh University. Chambers on the run, Greenspan. Well, no, this play had already been whistled dead. Couldn't hear it over the
I thought
public
that was
address.
a foul, but you never know, do you?
That's why you keep playing until you hear something. And the final sub for the Hounds, it's Christian Valesky saying goodnight in the 87th minute. Mark Forrest from Reading, Pennsylvania. And I mentioned played his college soccer at Lehigh, Goodman Stadium, where Bethlehem Steel has made its home on and off over the past several seasons. But Forrest is in, looking for his first pro point. Tall, rangy forward, and he'll join Dos Santos as the Twin Towers at the top right now. Dos Santos' header away from Forrest. Gestures at Dos Santos, trying to figure out where they might have crossed their signals. Jordan Dover takes the punishment.
Again, putting his body in the way there, being smart and shielding it. And obviously, the other Bethlehem trying to win the ball back as quick as they can. They're going to do everything they can to try and steal it. And gave up another free kick.
Robbie Mertz,
Here's
the
a
rookie,
chance.
gets it back from Dos Santos. Mertz wanted to square it, and it was blocked, and it stays in play, too, fortunately for the steal.
Oh, well done by Greenspan.
Joe physically dominant on that aerial duel.
Great job by DeSantos there with 2 players around him, getting control of the ball. And
the big boys are coming through right now for the Hounds.
Yeah.
Winning these confrontations. Banquiazil's deflected pass comes free and cracked out of there by Matt Real. Another collision not for the faint of heart. Banquiazil up against Cortez. And it hops loose to Dover. Jordan Dover. And a little behind Dos Santos.
Yeah, that could have been really nice there. Hounds were swarming all over them. And they're back in again.
Volleys it through. The Hounds doing a great job pinning Bethlehem at the very least. If they can't get a goal, they can at least force this team to come the entire length of the surface. Chambers had it skip away. James Chambers, hands on hips. He's confronting exhaustion right now as he gives this one off. Greenspan, hot ball to handle for Bunky, so he did well with it.
Yeah, they both did really well there.
And the fireworks have begun down to our left. I was wondering, what was that sound? It sounded like a volcanic eruption out to the west, so you might hear it. In fact, wow, what a scene here. The weather delay leading to this, and a foul called in the midfield, and Joe Greenspan is writhing and rolling over.
But somebody's going to get a yellow card here. Is it Greenspan?
I think it is.
I missed that
Referee
one.
Baldawi waiting for Greenspan to come to his senses. The collision led to a through ball that almost got to Borgelin, who was making a run. He and Chambers, Greenspan and Chambers came together. And possibly a studs up challenge.
Yep.
In the 89th minute, down to the nitty gritty at Highmark. Cards are piling up. That's now 3 for the Hounds and 3 for the Steel. Soft service toward the 6, and
offside.
Must have been, or possibly a foul.
Yeah,
hands and arms were up. Players were grabbing at jerseys. Mark Forrest was involved in that.
There's all the Gateway Clipper boats coming down to the point to see the fireworks, and Morton's watching them as he kicks the ball.
What a scene. Not the way it was planned, but it might work out just perfectly for the Hounds. 4 minutes of added time. 4 minutes tacked onto this one as we have reached 90. Pittsburgh's not out of the woods yet. In hot pursuit of a 4th consecutive win. Forrest
got a corner
forcing
out of
the
that
play.
one.
How about that from Mark Forrest?
That's a good job there, and can use up another 2 minutes of the clock here if they're smart.
Close to it, exactly. And Canardo Forbes will eventually make his way over to the corner flag.
He's sprinting.
Exactly. Looks like a warm-up jog.
Hounds have got to keep Bethlehem in there now for this last. They're going to be smart here and keep this team from getting any opportunities to get back in the game.
Forbes, Kerr is wide open, but he stubs the volley, comes loose to Dos Santos. Goal kick.
That's not a corner kick. Huh. Dos Santos is asking for a corner kick, and I thought he deflected off somebody, but obviously referee doesn't think so. And here's an up.
Pittsburgh has won 5 games coming into tonight. One of them by the 1-0 score at Louisville in early April. That was previously known as the Lilly Special, in reference to Bob Lilly's reputation for defense. Not so much this year. This Hounds team has turned up the octane, and well, sometimes they've been a little porous at the back too for coach's taste and for the keepers to be satisfied. But they seem to have gotten their game together. They lead this one late, possibly a missed kick, but flagged down by Harriel.
Put under pressure here, Kerr.
Kerr's right in Harriel's face. Now he backs off. About halfway through the added time, give or take. Dos Santos, almost a trick kick there as he flipped it over his head. Forrest pressuring McKenzie. McKenzie with Kerr all over his back. Kerr ran
good
off.
job.
Forrest slides through. Mark Forrest using those
job.
fresh legs to his advantage. Oh my, Adewale took the worst of that. He was cracked in the chest.
Great job there by
Maybe in the
Adewale,
cheek.
risking no prisoners there. He was just going to go in and win that ball, which he did really well.
So you want to be a center back, huh? Those are the type of situations you get yourself
there's
in.
a great ball.
James, maybe a breakaway for Forbes. He has one man to beat. It's Real. Forbes trying to cut back, and Canardo, spent, ends up on the turf. James was the man who sent Forbes away.
Nice
But again, that
play.
forces the steal to expend energy. Cortez lays it back. Here it comes from Turner. Over the top, Borgelin couldn't get to it. Adewale did. And a savvy move from Kerr to get toward the touchline and deflected off of a steal player.
I think Kerr got away with one there. It kind of ricocheted about 2-3 times, and I think it came off Kerr, but tough position for the linesman and the referee to see.
Axel Picasso just couldn't avoid touching that ball. He was trying to win it back. He was in a difficult spot. Possibly a minute to go in this one. The Hounds are closing in. Their 4th straight win, trying to sweep the homestand. Kerr keeps it in the air.
Boy, it's been in the air for a while.
Forbes fearlessly running through. Forrest does a button hook, figures out where the ball is. It's bouncing out into touch. Possibly one more attack for Bethlehem. They try to avoid falling further off the playoff pace in the Eastern Conference.
DeSantos very unlucky there. Oh, got it.
Bonkiazil fundamentally sound to head that one forward and get all of it.
Oh, well done by Forrest there. Just keep possession, take it into the corner.
I think he's going to listen to you, or at least try. He stops.
James will.
There's the final whistle. Hounds win. Hounds win for the first time since 2013. Pittsburgh has claimed 4 victories in a row, and for the first time ever at Highmark Stadium, they have swept a 3-match homestand. 3 matches, 9 points gained, Paul Child. A perfect performance in terms of results. The wheels keep turning for Bob Lilly's boys.
Oh no, that's fantastic. I got to admit, Bethlehem still was a tough team to play against, a typical derby, and made it very, very difficult for the Hounds in the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then the Hounds came around.
Maybe a short measure of revenge for last year's postseason result. Almost always close between these two sides. We'll be back to wrap it up from an exploding Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania after this break on ESPN+.
Good night.
Their soccer camps this summer with a refreshed focus and new curriculum. The summer camp program is for players aged 4 to 13 and led by RDA coaches with appearances by professional players throughout the week. Each participant will receive a ball, a Riverhounds SC summer soccer t-shirt, and a ticket for the Riverhounds SC game versus Loudoun United FC Friday, August 23rd. Contact the Academy office at 412-325-7238 or register online at riverhounds.com.
What do you call it when Western Pennsylvania's largest automotive retailer begins selling the region's most popular brand?
Chevrolettionary, which also describes our grand opening offers.
Introducing the all-new #1 Cochran Chevrolet, where you'll find a special 2-year lease on a sporty Trax from just $99 a month. The unequaled Equinox as low as $139 a month, plus $1,000 extra for trades at the all-new #1 Cochran Chevrolet.
I should have been a cowboy. Toby Keith and his That's Country Bro Tour 2019. Friday, September 27th, 7:30 at Highmark Stadium with special guests Clay Walker and Gabby Barrett. Toby Keith. On sale now with Ticketmaster.com. Produced by Trusty Entertainment. Toby Keith and his That's Country Bro Tour.
It was back to basics for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds Soccer Club tonight on the 4th of July. What a perfect ending to this one with the fireworks exploding in the background. Pittsburgh converts its 4th consecutive victory and climbs even further up the Eastern Conference table. Let's look back at how we got there. Just the 1 goal on the board, but this one was hotly contested all the way through for all 90-plus minutes. After a 45-minute weather delay, we got it going from the south side. In the first half, Hounds attacking to the right, and the best chance was Toby Adewale, the center back, getting up for this header chance on Kerr's cross.
Yeah, couldn't get it back across the goalkeeper. And here's another one, great cross, and couldn't get that one down and into the net.
That was Valesky from Dover.
Yeah, just a little bit off timing. What a shot this was. Boom.
Second half.
I think the keeper did get a touch on it.
I think he did too. Yeah, he tipped it into the top of the net, but he could not get enough.
Oh, yeah, and then he ran into the post afterwards, actually. I mean, he had no great selection there and a great location. Here's a nice lob into the box, and DeSantos. This is where there was kind of like a mix-up between 2 players, 3 players. Goalkeeper couldn't get a hold of it, and Kerr couldn't get a shot off. And in the end, goalkeeper smothered it and got it back. But pretty crazy, that one.
That was maybe the closest call to 2-0 here late with the substitute Mertz finding Jordan Dover. He was shocked how open he was. Had a good look away. Tried to go short side again on Romero, but this time defended well by the keeper. Made his best stop of the night easily there.
Yeah, he did really well there. Just got his body in the right position at the near post, made it difficult for him.
Well, how about that? No shots on target for Bethlehem, just 2 for the Hounds. Both teams struggled on the finishing end of some of these chances. Kyle Morton picks up the clean sheet, doesn't have to make a stop. Actually, he did have 1 stop. I wonder if the scorekeepers missed that one when he handed it away to Ferris, you'll recall, in the final 10 minutes. So, yeah, there's 1 save for him. But Kyle Morton gets his 4th clean sheet. Yellow cards, too, so contentious to the very end. Paul, a different type of a win here tonight for the Hounds, but the points count the same, don't they?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It doesn't matter whether it's 1 or 6, you know, but obviously the Hounds are really happy with that win. I'm sure Bob's really happy going on the road this weekend, a short 3 days to the next game. He's got to get out there and hopefully do well with against the Independents and come back next week to a home team again.
Well, for all the talk of the Hot Hounds offense, that's now 3 clean sheets in their 4 victories in a row. So it's connecting on both ends of the pitch. Next time we'll talk to you will be in a couple of weeks. We'll be out for the match against Tampa Bay, but we'll be back with you on the 20th of July. Myself, Paul Child, and Gene Klein. Well, there's a guy having a lot of fun on the 4th of July. How about that tifo as well from the Steel Army? A celebratory type of a night as the Hounds go a perfect 3 for 3 on the homestand. For Paul Child, I'm Matt Geica saying good night from a festive Pittsburgh, PA.
And good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.